third day with all this fruit, tree bearing fruit, these fruit trees and all this herb, man, all this herb yielding seed, it was still getting that greater light. This is all that greater light, popping off the original vegetation and fruit and all the flow of the earth plane. Nagaville's popping off with the greater light. This let there be light is still popping off Nagaville directly. Now we get to the fourth day, and HaWah said, let there be lights in the firmament, not out the firmament. He didn't put lights outside the cup. He put that lid over that cup. Now you need light in the firmament, right? You need light inside of it, of the heaven to divide the day and night. You didn't need no light to divide the day and night before you had the greater light, when you still had let there be light. But now you got a firmament on the second day. Now that firmament might not have been completely shut yet on that third day, because those other luminaries aren't even there yet, unless they were just in darkness. Unless they were just in darkness. Well, that's not what we're reading right here, but that could still be the case. Who knows? But they were popping off. We know that they were popping off, so I'm thinking they were still getting light. Now HaWah said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day and the night, and let them be for signs, for seasons, for days and years. Then we just get that somebody's going to be changing these seasons around. Somebody's changing the seasons, right? Days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament. So you need a light in the cup now, right? Inside the cup, you need lights. Because now there's a division. Not just from the waters and waters, but literally from the greater light. Because HaWah can't have the hijack tapping into the greater light. He knows that once he closes his lid, it's a free-for-all, man. You're going to have to choose up. Once that lid is closed, let the experiment begin, because we're going to see if these knockers can choose up. They're going to think that the heaven is the firmament only. They're not going to think about the greater light until they start to connect some things with a dragonfly perspective and connect KTC to our Creator, Most High over everything. MHOE. Halal HaWah. So there are lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, because before the earth had greater light to give light upon the earth, right? And it was so, and HaWah made the two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, the lesser light to rule the night, and the stars. And HaWah set them inside, right, in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth and to rule over the day and over the night and to divide the light from the darkness. And HaWah saw that it was good, and there was evening and morning on the fourth day. So when we talk about Yom and day and occurrence, you got to connect hijack free, you know what I'm saying, before you think day, English, day, sun, rising and setting, you know what I'm saying? Like, hijack free, your day. And God called the light day. What light? That's not the sunlight, man. So don't think day, sun, I must see the sun to have a Shabbat. Day, sun, I must, this sun. Nah, man. It's your light that is the true light, the greater light, is before this firmament. That was on day 2. Your light is eternal. Then the firmament, it's closed, it's shut. Now you need these two great lights to rule this night and day scenario. The greater light to rule the day, the lesser light to rule the night. Right? And on the 5th day, you got all the fish and birds popping off, you know, saying the sixth day, you got man created, right? Woman created. HaWah created them. And HaWah said, let the earth bring forth a living creature. I mean, it's all popping. On day 5, you got these sea dragons popping off, man. And HaWah created the great sea monsters, right? The great sea monsters, the great sea fish. We got to go back in etymology just one more time. What's a Leviathan? Etymology. Drop Nation, no, man. We tap dance over here in Etym Online, man. Etymologies all day. We dig on the dragon, we dig on the seraph. Which only means we dig on the fiery ones and the burning ones, but there's different dragons. There's sea dragons, like the water dragons, you know what I'm saying? You got the fiery ones, the fiery flying serpents, they call them, seraph, that are in Isaiah chapter 6, singing holy, holy, the burning ones. Yeah. Oh, they're the flaming angels, right? So these are the seraphs singing holy, holy in Isaiah 6, man. These are the dragons. Ones that are, you know, I mean, if you look at what's that, Jubilees, you know, they bring in all the angels of this, angels of that. The first day, there's a lot more going on, you know, and these dragons, these angels were actually created as well on these very first day. By the time you get to day 5 and you got more of the sea dragons and leviathans, you know, those are, you know, more of the, you know, earthbound type of dragons, not the ether dragon, you know what I mean? But the fire, the water, you know what I'm saying? The ether, the air, the earth. I mean, those dragons are first things created. Go get that series that we dropped in 2017. Now we talk Leviathan. Well, then you're talking what they call a sea monster. Now, the same Leviathan is in the book of Job, you know what I'm saying? Where, you know, HaWah say, hey, man, if you can't put a hook and control my dragon, then you definitely can't even, you know, try to talk to me like that. You can't step up to me if you can't even step up to my dragon. You know what I'm saying? This is HaWah's dragon. So how did he turn into sometimes regarded as a form of Satan? Right now you're talking Revelations. This gives you a hint that in Revelations, what is it, 12? You know, this whole red dragon, multiple heads. Check out Psalm 74. Leviathan got multiple heads. You know what I mean? Like, this is a duplication, reflection of the Leviathan sacrifice that went down. Leviathan was sacrificed in Psalm 74 to be meat or food for the righteous in the wilderness, for the Nagas in the wilderness. Psalm 74. I mean, get all the drop. You know what I'm saying? Go get it. Dragon, yeah, is the sea monster. Sea monster is the dragon. Got it. So by the time we in the 5th day, and HaWah said, let the water swarm with the swarms of living creatures, and let fowl or the birds fly above the earth and the open firmament of heaven. And HaWah created the great sea monsters. We know that the sea monsters are the dragons or the leviathans. Sea monster or sea serpent is the dragons. Now, these are the specific sea dragons. But they're talking about things that are in the water and things that fly. So it could be talking about the flying dragons too. All right, that's the 5th day. 6th day, we got all the living creatures, the cattle, the creeping things. I asked my children, I said, why do you think HaWah waited to create man and woman, you know, after everything? And they said probably to get everything prepared. You know, all these games that, children can build their worlds, whether Minecraft, this or this, that. They're building worlds, and it gives them a perspective, at least, on the preparation. And they said, yeah, you got to get all that ready before you bring in, those that it was created for, truly. And the children see it clearly. The children got a dragonfly perspective. By the time we get to people, verse 27, and HaWah created man in his own image. I asked my children, what's an image? Some said, oh, what you see in the mirror. And I said, you're my child, you're my image. Is it just about your looks or your being, your essence, your energy, your frequency, your vibration? To create us in the image of HaWah means we are in the vibration, not just what we look like, because a dragon could take many forms. But my noggin, it's the fire, it's the water, it's the ether that you are, the earth that you are. The image of HaWah created he, him, male and female created he, them. In the image, the frequency of HaWah. We're just talking about changing times and laws or changing the seasons. And to know that when we talk light, when we talk that yam, that day, there's a greater light and there's a lesser light. And we come from the greater light. We are created, by the creator of this greater light that we are in essence, a part of and are, one thing, one tribe, one vibe. And Ahab to the Templar, just for the crystallization, We are created by the one and only framer shaper. And this throne room is what we are calling this greater light, this energy connected to the throne room of HaWah. ThaWaDa. Hey, what time are we in, man? What occurrence are we talking about? We talked about some of the yam before, taking one day at a time, right? 6 days of creation. 7th day he rests. Whenever we rest on our 7th day, whenever you got your 7th day, this is a time of replenishing. It's a time of nourishment. It's a time of complete rest, of remembering the occurrence. What occurrence? The day, the days. Great link, creationtoday.org. Are the days of Genesis 1 actually 24-hour days? Or do they represent figurative periods of time which could be interpreted as millions of years? It is popular among many conservative evangelical scholars today to suggest the latter position. However, the former position that the days are literal 24-hour days is the historic position that the church has adopted since the New Testament time. The key to understanding what the days of Genesis 1 really means is to look at the use of the Hebrew word for day. The word is yam. So is this yam got to do with the sun or the greater light? And it is used throughout the Old Testament, having a variety of meanings, including the possibility of referring to an undefined, indeterminate period of time, rather like our English word day can. However, the meaning of the word is determined by its context, so we will look at the context of this word throughout the Old Testament. To avoid bias, we will take Genesis 1 out of the picture, so our new expurgated Old Testament runs from Genesis 2 through Malachi 4. Let's now examine these occurrences one day at a time. The Hebrew yam occurs 2,282 times outside of Genesis 1, It occurs 359 times with the number outside